Hello, hello, hello. It's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and with me tonight we've got my beautiful bride, Firecracker on two wheels. Wave at everybody, honey. Come on, let them know you're here.
Woo!
Woo! Everybody give her a hand. Hey, hey. And my buddy Bagger Bader's on the hand here with us tonight. Me and him are sporting our Dixons. So we're representing. So this
Damn
one here's
right.
my yo.
Sharp dressed man.
So we got a few people in the chat. Let's see who all's out here tonight. We got XAN Biker. We got John Price. Hey, John, how are you doing, man? Raise the Road. Jack Fleming is here. Salty Badger. Chasing Adventure. Ray's Moto Life. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Since the last time we talked, there's been some stuff released by Harley Davidson, and there's been some, I don't know, some people are calling them leaks. I don't know if they're leaks. I don't really know what happened yet. I'm going to try and find out. But people were mailed a brochure from Harley Davidson that had information about the models before the launch date. So whether that was a food bar on Harley Davidson's part or a dealer's part or whose part, I don't know. But I do know it has happened. And, those pictures are out there all over the internet. I don't know if I'm going to put any of them up, but I do have a few pictures that I was sent late last week of some leaked photos and things from an event. It looks like maybe, I don't know if it was a dealer show or what it was, but there's some stuff in there, and there's a bike in there that, is not officially acknowledged. So after those pictures that came out that I saw last Friday, Harley Davidson put an official post out. I saw the pictures a day or two before Friday because I put a video out on Saturday morning. So I think I saw the pictures on Thursday, and then like Friday, Harley Davidson put out a post acknowledging an all new, well, let's just put them up here. So if everybody doesn't know, the launch is January 24th, 10 a.m. Central. Go sign up. I've got a link here I'll throw out in the chat for anybody that doesn't know where to sign up. But you can go sign up for the reveal, the launch, whatever you want to call it. That's tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. But this is their kind of promo pictures for this. And so they put this picture out. Then they put this picture out. All new CVO Pan America. We're going to talk about that because I know there's some drama over that. Some people are got some opinions. I want to see what you guys think. There's the all new Road Glide, the all new Road Glide ST, CVO Road Glide ST, I should say. All new CVO Road Glide ST. I got that slide twice. Let's just get rid of one of those. And then the all new Street Glide. So they put those posts out. And after they put that out, I said, now that you put some of that out, do I still have to keep it a secret that I'm going to go ride these bikes? And they said, no, you can talk about it. So that was in last Friday's video. It was Saturday mornings when I released it. I recorded it Friday, but so I get to ride these new motorcycles, and let's see, a week from today, I'll be seeing these things. So that's pretty awesome. I want to give Harley Davidson a shout out for, inviting someone small like myself, my channel. I consider it small, but giving me the opportunity to come out and see these bikes and ride these bikes and share that experience with you means the world to me. I know Firecracker's looking forward to the trip. That was what we were talking about going to Vegas for, that we were being a little bashful about what we were doing. Firecracker, how are you feeling about going to Vegas? You excited?
Excited, yes, because I've never been there, but kind of sucks that I don't get to go do the stuff that you get to do.
She doesn't get to ride the bikes. If she would put out more review videos, we might be able to swing that the other way. But anyway.
Speaking of reviews, Firecracker, there might be a male review that you can go check out while he's riding his motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
There's our buddy Will, said hello. Ray's in here, all in. Gary Road, Brandon Von Wilder. I think I saw the Wagonators in there. Yep, the Wagonators are here. So we got a good crowd showing up here tonight. We're up to 64 people already. We might as well get started on some of this. So let's talk about the CVO Pan America first, because there is a lot of drama about that. So Gary said Red Rock Canyon is a must-see in Vegas. Yeah, Gary, I'm not going to get to see that, but I am going to get to ride something out there that's pretty cool. I'm not going to give out all the details. You're going to have to wait and see the videos, but they have some pretty exciting stuff planned for us. I don't know all the details yet, but I can say that I am superly excited about this. I'm going to meet some really cool people. I'm going to ride some really cool bikes. So it's an amazing opportunity. So let's see what John says here. I talked to my brother today, and he said the CBO will be his dealership first thing in the morning. I have heard that a lot of dealerships are supposed to have one of these new bikes on hand tomorrow to do like a special dealership party with, preferred customers or, high dollar spenders or whatever you want to call them tomorrow night. So that'll be interesting to see. So
I heard where some of these bikes will be hitting the dealerships by Friday.
yeah. So I may not be the first one to get to ride one, but I get to ride them and do some stuff on them that probably not everybody else is going to get to do. Mike Bodine is in the chat. Hey, buddy. So on the Pan America, a lot of people are like, why would you take a bike you can't sell and make it more expensive? I mean, I've seen that comment, making it a CVO, giving it to all the stuff is going to make it more expensive. But, I don't know about this. It doesn't sell. The first season it was out, it was the best-selling adventure motorcycle in the United States. Was the Pan America Special. That's still not a huge market compared to touring bikes and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but I think it was 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 units the first year, which was more than any other single model of adventure motorcycle. Now, this picture you can't see a lot of, but let's look at this picture because somebody sent me that. And what do you think that is back there in the background between these guys? So,
Yeah, that's definitely a Pan America, I think.
Yeah, and I like that bright red. I think that looks good. I like that color.
Like the crash bars.
Yeah, I like the crash bars are trimmed in red and stuff. I think it's going to be interesting to see this bike. There are people who spend $20,000-$30,000 on adventure motorcycles. So I think a CVO might be an option for some people that really want to have something special. John Price said, I hope it's more than paint. Well, I can tell you that the motorcycle.com, Dennis Chung, he's great at digging stuff up, and he had an article about this based on the filings for the CARB, for the California Air and Resource Board or whatever it is. And they have the weight as being higher than the factory Pan America Special. So you can kind of see this where this guy's got his elbow here and stuff. But I think this thing comes decked out with all the panniers and trunk kind of stuff on it from the factory. So instead of buying those and adding those, that's all going to be like part of this package. I think that says CBO right there over that guy's shoulder. So it's going to be a special badging on the panniers for the bike as well. I don't know what all you want or expect in it. I don't know what else they can do from a motor standpoint unless they release something new for the motor that we haven't seen before, or they found maybe they do better exhaust or some other things and they get a few more horsepower out of it than the previous model. But I don't expect a whole lot, if any, changes to the motor. So what do you think? Do you think this is a win or a lose for Harley Davidson doing a CVO model Pan America? Does it hurt them?
I think that hopefully they've done their R&D and sounds like they had big sales first year. Second year, there must have been a pretty good drop off. So maybe after listening to the people that enjoy that style of riding, they're catering to what they're looking for. Maybe they want a little fancier looking bike. Seems like most of them ride primarily on the road, on a paved road. Is that how you understand it?
Well, they are adventure touring motorcycles. So they get a lot of highway miles to get somewhere. Then they might ride up a mountain and camp or something in gravel roads. These are not dirt bikes where they're going to do. Most people are not going to take them crazy off road unless they're really, professional riders. So Chase's comment here that I'm sticking over Steve's face says that BMW sells a big GS Adventure with a bigger gas tank and fancy paint for $8,000 than a normal one. So John said that, he's hoping the motor will go up to 1,300 cc's to go along with BMW's new. So if you didn't follow any of that or you don't follow BMW, they've come out with a GS 1300. So this could be something they're trying to do to compete with that. What do you think? Think that's a possibility?
Absolutely. You know, they were the king of this genre, and you know, Harley's making an impact.
So, Firecracker, you're not much of an adventure rider, but I mean, as a consumer who's probably less of an enthusiast, you don't worry about knowing every single model and every spec and feature. Do you think that this is a bad thing for Harley Davidson to offer this?
No, I mean, the more options you have, the better.
So yeah, I mean, if they, as long as they don't make too many of them, that they flood the dealers with them and can't sell them or something, I don't really see the downside. I mean, some people would rather make a CVO of a different style, a soft tail maybe. Somebody said, you know, CVO Sportster, but the fact is the old Sportsters are, you know, dead and gone. So you'd have to make a CVO, you know, Nightster or Sportster S, and you know, maybe that would happen, but I don't think they have the, I don't think they got the press or the popularity that the Pan America got.
Would you say that adventure bikers typically we seem to think that they're a little bit more white collar than, you know, your typical Harley rider that you see around town? I know that few adventure bike riders I know, they were always executives of companies that I had to work with. So if that's true, they have the resources to spend, you know, as much as they want on an adventure bike.
Yeah, I know a guy who rides adventure, and he's not, you know, well off or anything else. Mechanic and, you know, guy that turns wrenches and stuff like that, but he loves dirt bikes. He's got an Africa Twin. He's had a DR. He had a GS. You know, so there are some people that are just enthusiasts that really want them, but I do think the BMW GSs do cater somewhat to another. And I hate to get into this, but it's stereotyping, you know, the Starbucks thing. All the adventure GS motorcyclists go to Starbucks to get their coffee instead of the local donut shop.
Yeah.
So hard to say on that, but I mean, I really don't see the downsides of Harley doing this unless they can't sell them. And, you know, that's always a possibility. So let's see. Well, let's talk about the all new Road Glide. So this is the all new Road Glide. You know, I've got some pictures. We'll throw them out here. Throw this one up. This one is obviously a CVO ST. That's actually, that's the other model we're going to talk about. This one, I think, is a CVO ST as well, but it's a little harder to tell. You don't get as good a look at the pictures and the bags and stuff. But, well, now, so, you know, it's definitely a CVO, and I think those two red letters down there at the end are ST, and it says Road Glide. Well, actually, this one says Road Glide ST at the top, and I'm going to guess it says CVO above that.
I'm pretty sure that's a CVO ST based on research I did.
Yeah, there were pictures of Road Glides. There's a CVO Road Glide. I'm sure that's going to be, you know, the ST model. I don't think they have announced a CVO other than the Pan America and the Road Glide ST. So those are what those are looking like. They're going to have the inverted front forks, the 121. They're going to have the Showa independent or adjustable suspension front and back, things like that. You know, they have not actually said that there is a CVO Road Glide. They've only said there's a new Road Glide, a new Street Glide, and a CVO Road Glide ST. So now this one, I don't see anything on this one that says ST.
I don't either.
Now we go back here and we look at this one. It definitely says CVO ST.
Right.
And this one here, I think, has the ST in red right there that you can kind of see, but they're doing this kind of lettering style on this. Yeah. So does this picture make you think that there is a CVO Road Glide that is not considered the ST?
Sure looks that way.
At least in the paint scheme, it doesn't say ST.
And that's kind of like the same paint scheme as that Street Glide.
Yeah, the one that's not mentioned anywhere.
Yeah.
So Firecracker, what do you think of this paint scheme? Do you like this red and black? I know you're more into the colors and looks. So you like that look? What do you think of this look?
I don't like that one.
Not enough color, not enough
Too
splash.
plain. Yeah.
It looks like they've done this on purpose, doesn't it? I mean, they've got kind of a basic white and a basic black in the CVO STs.
And then your premium paint package right here for an extra $6,000.
And for the more
Look at the-
sophisticated rider.
And
Chrome.
that's speakers in the bags?
Yes.
Yep.
The CBO's always had the rear speakers. Well, I shouldn't say always, but at least in recent years that I'm aware of, on these types of baggers, they would come with rear audio from the factory.
So if you get a new bike, you're going to get what I've always wanted on your bike.
Speakers in the back. Well, we're not talking about buying a CVO. That's still a stretch. We got other things we want to buy. So, but we'll see. I mean, so they're doing an all new Road Glide, and from what I understand, we're talking like looks like the CVO. It's going to have the new styling, but it's not going to have inverted front forks. It's not going to have the radially mounted Brembo brakes, which is what I've been saying. I've been hearing for quite a while, and it's going to have, but it is going to have the Milwaukee 8 but we don't know if it's going to have variable valve timing yet or not. So what do you think? Steve, you're a Road Glide guy. You got to have an opinion on this thing. What do you think? Is that, this whole it looks like they're getting rid of the base and special models, as far as like a differentiation. And one of the big differentiations between those was the dash. So now we just got a base model and a special model.
Yeah, I think sometimes simplicity is better. They've got one model where it's basically set up to run and you don't have to do anything down the road with it. And then the other model is a blank canvas and you can do whatever you want. I mean, I have, my Road Glide is designed to be kind of a show bike. I've put it in shows. It's got the stretch bags and that sort of thing, a lot of chrome. And so for me, the CVO doesn't make sense for me. I feel like my bike is superior to that based on what I want it to look like. So I bought a standard when I bought my Road Glide, knowing full well I was going to tear it all apart and put aftermarket parts on it. So I think it gives you the best of both worlds. You've got the CVO for that person that wants the CVO and have it done already. He buys it. If not, he can buy a standard.
I'm trying to turn my volume down on my headphone. That's loud. You guys are loud tonight.
Am I blowing you out?
I think it's all on my end, and I probably should have set that before, but we'll figure it out.
You probably had it up from working on stuff last week.
Yeah, working on videos. So I'm just curious, what's April's loud and proud playlist when she's rolling? Well, that's a side chat. So John Price said that they're showing pictures with the variable valve timing motor with the 117. I said months ago that if they were going to do, another motor change, that would be the next thing to do would be to keep the 121 for the CVOs and then give the other 117s variable valve timing to give them a performance boost. Yeah. Firecracker said any 80s rock. So yeah, she's an 80s rock girl, even though she was born just a few years before the 80s. So I guess she,
a few years.
Yeah.
I was born in 79.
Yeah. See? So she laid in the cradle and listened to 80s rock and has been hooked ever since. So
Mike, if I understand it correctly, the 107 and the 114s are gone.
That's
in the tour.
Yeah, that's what it looks like from everything I have seen.
And we've talked about this a number of times. I think that's the right move.
Yeah, I think the portfolio was a lot of bikes on there. And I think from a sales perspective, when someone comes in that is not maybe as enthusiast as all of us that are sitting in here in the live streams, because that's what we're really into and we're really excited about this launch. But for the typical buyer that didn't even watch the launch, or isn't going to watch the launch, when they walk into a dealership, they're looking, why is this Street Glide, $5,000 more than that one. Oh, well, it's got a different stereo, and it's got an alarm, and it's got, a little bigger motor. Oh, okay. Well, what's this one got that's another 3,000 over that? Oh, that one's got different suspension, and it doesn't have a rear seat and rear pegs. And I think it just, makes it more difficult for the non-enthusiast to understand the different models and what their options are. And I don't think necessarily, I mean, I like choices and I like having all these models, but let's face it, if you want the performance bagger, you're going to do a bunch of upgrades on it anyway.
Yeah. Again, being a salesperson, it's a lot easier to make a sale when you don't have the less variables you've got to try to explain. And so I think Harley's doing a smart thing by simplifying it.
Yeah. So somebody sent me a link just now, and I can't get into it. That's a private group, so I can't see what it is they want me to see, but that happens sometimes during these lives. People are sending me stuff. They know things I don't know, and they're like, oh, look at this, look what I've seen. So unfortunately I can't get into that. I mean, as a guy buying a Street Glide, a guy bought a Street Glide, I would do a special. I'd never do the base, not for the difference of price. Would I want the smaller engine and the less radio and those things? So I really think with this all new dash, it makes sense to have one dash and one model for that, so that you combine the base and the special all together, and it's just one bike.
Yep.
So I think that makes sense. I don't know about the STs, because it looks to me like we've got either the CVOs are going to be all STs this year. And I said this in the last video, that may make sense because the CVO is supposed to be the high end, version of these bikes. So give them, the better suspension, give them the better brakes and the better motor as part of the CVO package. And if you really want the performance bagger, you're going to buy the CVO ST bagger, and that's going to be your performance bagger.
Yep.
Now, they talk about an all new Street Glide. I did that video the other day, and I put footage up of me riding the Street Glide and the Road Glide at Sturgis in that last video I edited, and going back and looking at it, I still sitting in the cockpit. I like the look of the Street Glide dash better. I like the look of the Street Glide fairing better. The only advantage I'm seeing and thinking of to the Road Glide right now is the fact that, well, remember that recall they just had for the new CVO Street Glide? Difficult to maintain control at over 100 mile an hour. My understanding is the fix is a ballast, a weight, and an ECU change that limits it to 100, 101 mile an hour. So does the Road Glide get to go 115 and the Street Glide gets to go 100? No, that's going to be a problem. So hopefully,
dust your ass.
Yeah, I'm. Well, you ain't going to dust my ass. First, you got to get me to race, and but for guys that are really into performance, if they're probably going to get it tuned, and that's probably something that can be tuned out to do whatever they want. But the truth is, if they're running 115 over, and that Street Glide really does have a handling issue over 100 mile an hour, that may not be the bike you want to be on.
For sure.
They're talking about the price increase for the Road Glide and Street Glide. I heard there's going to be minimal increase in the pricing, but we'll see. I don't know. Somebody talked like the pricing would be less than $1,000 increase. Now, most of the Indian motorcycles, they went up more than that. So TZ here says there are 4 CVOs, the Road Glide, the CVO Street Glide, CVO Road Glide ST, only 121 high octane, and the CVO Pan America. Now, and I do believe there's going to be a CVO Street Glide. They have not put any of that in their official post, but this picture right here, that's a Street Glide, and that's got inverted front forks. So, and it's got that red paint job with the 1 on it. So there's no doubt in my mind that's a CVO Street Glide. And I'm thinking there's not a CVO Street Glide ST coming because of maybe this handling issue. And maybe that's something they're working on and straightening it out. But that's what I'm talking about. and people are talking about the price and things like that. And I want everybody to just think about this for a minute. I went back and looked. Now I know I paid like $12,000 in the year 2000 for a 6-year-old Dyna that was used. I bought a 1994 Dyna in 12,000 in the year 2000 for $12,000. That's about what its MSRP was. But they were going for so much money in the 90s. People paid more than MSRP. So buying a used one, you were lucky if you could get it at MSRP. Now, so if that bike was MSRP at $12,000 in 1990, I also looked up what a Ford Super Crew Cab was in 2000, the same year I bought that bike, and they were about $23,000. They're in the 40 to 50 range now. So they've doubled in price.
Oh, yeah.
So that means if the Harley kept up with inflation compared to the Ford F-150, it would double in price. So that means that lowrider would be $24,000. And guess what? We're right in that ballpark roughly. I mean, nitpicking here and there, you might say it's a little less, a little more, depending on features and stuff. But Harley is not, in my opinion, gotten any more expensive than they were 24 years ago. I've got an uncle who's rode motorcycles since I was a kid, and we were talking about this weekend, and they've always been expensive. And he's only known a few people in his life that bought brand spanking new Harley Davidsons, and I'm one of them. And they're people who are really passionate about the lifestyle and things like that. They're not hobbyist riders. They're riders like me that want to put 10 and 15 and 20,000 miles a year on. There are, of course, some people with money that buy them and only put a few thousand miles on them. And we love those people because they're great for the aftermarket.
To kind of prove your point, Mike, a second ago, most companies are looking to make a certain percent of profit off of the product that they create. So the fact that things have doubled since 2000 would make sense, because they're probably still, even though they've had to double the price since then, they're probably still making the same profit margin that they did in 2000.
Yeah. We got a hell of a stream going on tonight. 112 people. So we need more of a shout out. We need more of a shout out here in the side chat. I want to know where everybody's from. Cornbread's in the house. Cornbread said that, the CVO Pan America, what's the deal? He thinks it'll be a fail because it's supposed to be an off-road bike. And I really think that's the misnomer, is the Pan America is not an off-road bike. It's a bike you can go off-road on. It's an adventure touring motorcycle. You see these guys run down the highway from, Arkansas to Colorado, and then they climb a mountain and camp, and then they run back. They're not dirt bikes. There is a difference. And my boy Jerry River Bluff Baggers is in the house. Hey Jerry, sorry we couldn't catch you on the way by this weekend. We stayed late in Nebraska and had to haul home to get back in time for laundry and work and stuff the next day. Tulsa's in the house. Jonesy's from Illinois. We got Crestview, Florida. Harley's always been an expensive bike, and that's my point. I mean, I didn't buy a new Harley Davidson until I got out of a mortgage from a divorce, and I didn't have rent, and so I could afford a Harley Davidson. Now my kids are all grown and out of the house, except for we have one still in the house that's going to school, but two of mine are gone, and so I got a promotion. Maybe there's another new bike in my future this year. Maybe there's not. We'll just have to see how it works out. We've got some other financial things we want to do. So Jerry says God's country, Kansas. Mike Bodine is in Marshfield. Mark Ahart is in Houston, Texas. Motoplex, New Brunswick, California. And yeah, the comment here, the Pan America has also been stripped down and used as a track bike. Absolutely. Hooligans. So
yeah,
I'm going to brag just a little bit. I think I'll get to meet a couple of professional motorcycle racers. Nobody from the Saddleman team that rides hooligan, but some professional racers. So that's going to be really cool. And I can't wait to watch King of the Baggers when we go to Daytona. So Firecracker, you're the female voice in the house, and you're also probably the least technically oriented consumer in the lineup here on the show tonight. What do you think about these new bikes? What do you like, dislike? What do you care or don't care about?
Well, I'd really like to just see them before I make a comment. Like, really see what they're gonna look like in person.
I know
You
you
saw
supposed to get them are
you,
purple.
you you saw the Road Glide and the Street Glide though, the styling at least, not the paint, but the styling. Last year's paint at Sturgis. I mean, what do you think about the new styling there? Do you think this is people are going to grow on? It's going to grow on them. They're going to get used to it. Do you think it's going to be hold consumers back from buying it?
I mean, to be honest, the on the Road Glide, I don't. There was a change in the nose of it that I didn't just. I didn't. I don't. I've never really liked the front of the Road Glide, and the change in it, I thought I didn't like even more than the original.
What she's saying, Steve, is your bike is ugly and the new Road Glide's even uglier.
I think that I just don't like the way they changed the front of it. Street Glide, I mean they changed it a little bit, but I don't feel like it was as noticeable. I kind of the one thing I noticed in the pictures is they have that strip of lights, and I just really didn't like that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I like the rest of it, and I don't know what else to say. I do like the big screen in them, like, and I thought it was neat how on the Street Glide it had the drawer, but and I felt like the drawer was better than what you've got on your Street Glide, as far as you had the push button doors and the drawer. I kind of liked a lot better.
The new tray that pops out
Yeah.
instead of a cubby
Yeah.
hole with the door.
Right.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah.
I got my Harley book with all the new models in the mail, so I don't have to wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I know I didn't get one in the mail. But I did get an invite to the press event, but I didn't get a brochure. And that's what I'm wondering is that how that brochure got released like that early that so many people got it.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see if there's any chit chat about that next week to explain how or what happened. But it is what it is. I haven't asked what happened. They're pretty much not going to talk about new products until new products are released. And technically these aren't released. So they're probably not going to discuss it until after the release date.
Hey, Mike, I hope I don't steal your thunder here, but did you hear that the Road Glide Limited and the Ultra Limited were not going to go to the new fairings this year?
Yeah, they're already released. They're carryover models and they have the old fairings. So the Road Glide Limited and the Ultra Limited, the Tri Glide and the Trike and the Road Glide 3 Trike all have old style fairings.
Do you
So
feel
I
like
think
that was a mistake?
Not really. I mean, if you really hate the new styling, you could get an Ultra and just take the trunk off.
Yeah.
If you want the slammed look, put a 12-inch shock on there instead of a 13. It's not, impossible to do and stuff. And a lot of the guys with those big baggers do removable trunks anyway. So
Right.
it's hard to say, but I don't think it's a terrible thing. All right. So we got 120 people in the side chat tonight. So that's amazing. I want to know how many of you guys in the side chat are going to tune in at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And if we do a live right after the launch, would you tune in to see what our reaction is? I mean, it's a work day. People may be busy. They may not be able to watch the launch right when it happens. And if they they may only have, be able to take 20 minutes to watch the launch. So they got time to watch another live stream after that. So you guys leave me a comment down below. Me and Steve have been talking about it. Could you watch a live stream if we did one after the launch to talk about what we think? And would you tune in if we do one?
And I guess they could always catch it after they get home from work or whatever.
Right. Like you all, I may pull the trigger this year. I have a 2015 limited. Keeping that one leaning toward a CVO Road Glide. I like the orange and black color. Hillbilly says I'll be working, but I'll watch it. We got a yep, yes. I will tune in. I'm in. and I'll tune in. They're going to clear out old stock. No, I have to work. I'll try. And yes. So we have a few people that'll join us. So maybe we'll go ahead and set up a live tomorrow about, I think the event's at 10 o'clock. So I think by, 10:30, we should be able to schedule it. And if the event's not done in 30 minutes, then we'll get on there and talk about what's left in the event or what's going on. Yes, I would, buddy. I like your program. Thank you so much. I'll watch, says James. So Myers, Durr, Harley will be the last to get the new models. I don't know why that would be, but okay. Take your word for it. You know something I don't. I have a 2015 Ultra Limited that will be for sale before long. Mine's a 2016 with 70,000 miles, and that's, me and somebody from Harley talked, and we were talking about things, and they asked if I was going to do any more upgrades and stuff, and I said I think I'm on hold until I see what you come out with, because I don't want to stick money into a bike that I'm going to trade off. I did some things to it this last year. Some of it were sponsored videos where people wanted me to test their products and stuff. And, for anybody that thinks that, like, we get all these free products on YouTube and we're just rolling it in from that, they don't pay the bills. And to be honest, sometimes those videos cost me money. I mean, I got $1,000 worth of wheels, but I had to buy $500 worth of tires and rotors and pay somebody to have them mounted and balanced just so I could put them on and test them. Now, sure, I got new wheels and new tires, and I got the wheels for free, but I didn't really need them. It was $500 I spent right before going to Sturgis, so I could just sat on that money and used it for something else. So, just bear in mind that sometimes people think we're getting, as a content creator, we do a video on a free product that, we're making a bunch of money off of it, or, it's all, cherries. And sometimes it's not. I mean, I've done review videos on products and spent a lot of time on them to be sure that I really thought they were decent products before I would do the video. So, because I don't want to give anybody a false impression on a product.
So what's the seat height on the Pan America?
We can just look her up here, but I don't know off the top of my head. John Price might know. I think he's got one.
Well, I know, but I think it was when they first came out and you went to ride one, and I've never rode one because I feel like it's so tall that I can't,
you're right. Low seat position is like 33 inches unladen, meaning without somebody sitting on it. I would say that's probably, your Sport Glide's probably like 28. So, right. 5 inches taller, something like that. We'll see what your Sport Glide is. $26.5. So yeah. So your Sport Glide sits pretty low, but about 7 inches taller.
I've got plenty of room where I sit on my bike now, but I just thought that I thought I had sat on it when they first came out and it was high that I couldn't.
Well, and one thing you have to remember with the Pan America Special, when you turn the key on, start it, the seat lowers. So, I rode the Pan America Special. I'm not tall. I'm not long-legged. I rode the shit out of it. If you're under 5'8", maybe it's a stretch, but I mean, at 5'8", I rode it all day. Of course, I'm used to riding the DR 650, and I don't think it was really any worse than that was to get on. You got to learn how to mount an adventure motorcycle and get on it and ride it. And you may be leaning on one side and using one leg, but, that's okay. So, it's going to depend on the rider. And there's some people that are going to be too short, but, I saw comments that, you can't duck walk it, you can't do this, you can't do that. The Pan America Special with electronic suspension, if you got the key on, it drops down, and when you're at a stop, I don't think it was that bad. I didn't think so. And I'm not particularly tall. I'm not tall, that's for sure.
Well, you're taller than me, so.
Well, yeah, but you're 5'6". I mean, I'm not a ton taller than you. Aren't you around 5'6", babe?
Yep.
All right. So, I guess we're going to do a live stream tomorrow, Steve. Looks like people are interested in this topic. We got a lot of people into the live tonight at 106 right now still. Appreciate you everybody coming out
Hey,
here.
I'll be working, you fuckers.
Hey, that flex time I've been building up for all month. Yeah, I'm cashing it in tomorrow.
Okay, no, you're not cashing it in tomorrow. We've been discussing this, and we got other things for you to cash that time in on.
Well, Monday I got a half day of flex time I got to save, but I got some flex time already, so we'll figure it out. But Monday we get on a plane going to Vegas. We're gonna go ride motorcycles.
No,
I'm gonna
you
go ride
are.
motorcycle. She's gonna go play at the casino.
I should have just had you rip me a motorcycle for the to ride around Vegas.
Yeah.
I should have done that. But then I looked into it and it was a lot more expensive than renting a car.
Yeah, we got a car for $100 for the 4 days, and a bike would have been $100 a day probably. But you know,
I can't hear Steve. I can't hear you.
You muted yourself. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Damn it.
You were sitting there like moving your lips, and I was like, is he talking or-
So, I guess you guys in the chat, what do you think about the eliminating the Street Glide and the base models? Do you think that's a good call? Do you think that's, we were getting to the point we had 4 different versions of Street Glides: the base, the special, the ST, and the CVO.
Started feeling like it was the Sportster. 4 or 5 years ago, there was like 12 different Sportsters. I'm like, come on, guys, relax.
Hey, read Jerry River Bluff Bagger's comment.
Unless she's drinking, then she's 6 inches, 6 foot tall. I'm guessing 6 foot tall and full of piss and vinegar. Come on, Jerry, have another drink. Get that shine out here. What's wrong with you, pussy?
He hasn't drank any shine with me in a long time.
Oh shit.
We're talking about maybe doing a K River reunion.
Yeah.
This year, this summer. We didn't go last year. Took the year off, did some other things. So this year might be another K River year.
Well, I've already got it off, so we could do something that weekend.
Ohio HDMC says they love it. Hope it's streamlined with the price. Streamlined the price with the option. It should be priced better with one option. So raise the road cheaper to steal one. Yeah, until you get caught, it's not so cheap. Evans Robertson HD. Evan Robertson HD says, yes, trust it makes it so much easier for us in the service and parts because you don't have to worry about which is it the base or is it the other. And with this new dash, I think it makes sense, at least right now. I don't know. Jerry says, count me in for the reunion.
Where's Tom? Tom and Jerry.
We got Tom and Jerry, and
I always forget his name. He's the musician.
Yeah.
Forget his name. Maybe
Jerry will tell us.
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry. And then we've got the other one. And I've got him on Facebook.
I do too.
Preacher Man.
Preacher Man.
Yeah. Preacher Man.
Glenn, but I know that's wrong.
So
Neil.
Neil.
I should know that.
Neil. Where's Neil? So I guess maybe a little other news. I'm wearing a Cardo hat tonight. I got that in the mail the other day. Cardo and I are going to be doing some collaboration on some content and stuff, and I'm going to be testing out the new Edge. So I'm excited about that. I've been a Pack Talk Bold user for a few years now. I'm going to be actually testing some stuff that the Edge is supposed to do to integrate with this bad boy here that I haven't even taken out of the box yet. That's the new Insta360 Ace Pro camera. So I got some interesting things I want to try with that. I think it'll make for, if it works out, it'll make for some good, really good content while hopefully I can get it worked out before we get to Vegas. So, also I want to give a shout out to, I was at Nebraska this last weekend. Some of you guys that follow me on, Facebook and Instagram know that my daughter went off to college. We moved her last weekend and stuff, but I stopped in at the Harley Davidson dealer up there in Lincoln Frontier, and they were, very hospitable, showed us around. Somebody, we actually posted pictures, and somebody who lives up there said they were at the store and thought they saw us there, but they wasn't sure if that would be us that far from the Ozarks. But, they recognized us, but didn't say anything. So they weren't sure it was us. So I did not get a fancy new t-shirt with that new Insta360 unless they packed one in this box, but I paid for this out of my money. So again, not everything we do on YouTube is some freebie thing that we get and stuff like that. So that's over $500 too.
Were you gonna do the helmet thing?
Yeah, but I'm gonna wait till after tomorrow for a reason. Just I hear that are you talking? Oh, which helmet thing you talking about? Getting you a helmet?
The one we had done.
Oh, you mean this one? This one I've got setting right here. Oh, that one.
Shit.
So, you guys, if you've been watching the channel for a while, if you've been with us for a couple years, you'll know that my wife is a sucker for a kid in need with cancer, and she'll do everything in the world to help them and their family. And last year we didn't have a child to help, but the year before that and the year before that, she helped local families, her and our friends, not just her, but we had a lot of help from support from motorcycle rights organization group that we're a part of and stuff. But, it was kind of her thing. She said, I'm going to do it whether you help me or not. But if you want to help me, I'd love to have your help. And everybody chipped in and helped. And we helped some families who had children who were with cancer. And unfortunately, both children did not make it. But it's still a very touching thing to do. And one of the problems we ran into when we did is like we raised $2,000 over YouTube. But when you collect that money electronically like that through PayPal or something else, somebody's got to pay the taxes on it. Yeah. Guess who that somebody was on that $2,000? Yeah. So one of the things we're trying to do is get a 501c started so we can take donations for the 501c and not have to pay the taxes on it. That means more money to get to the families and the children directly and stuff. So somebody gave us a donation. We took that donation and we went out and we bought a Bell helmet. This helmet, when I bought it, was just black, just a Bell 3/4. It's a nice looking helmet. It's got a little stitching on the inside there. It's a little hard to see, but there's some red in that. And I gave it to my buddy at Plug Uglies, and he painted this for free. So he did all the airbrushing and the pinstriping for free. And then our other buddy Travis, who painted who painted the purple on her Sport Glide, clear coated it for us and cleaned it up. And so we have this custom helmet, and what we're going to do is I got to get it set up, but I'm going to create a raffle on Raffle Creator or whatever it is. The same thing Shade Tree uses. Me and him talked a little bit about this when we were working out last summer, and I'm going to raffle this thing off at like $10 a chance. We're going to sell chances for several months, and all the money we make from this is going to go to help fund the 501c, pay for the initial legal costs of paperwork and filings and stuff like that, and give her a little seed money for advertising so that, she can start helping more families and more kids, and we can do it through a 501c. So be watching for that. That's coming. So let me know, guys, in the chat, would y'all bid $10 for this helmet just to have it sitting on your shelf, even if it don't fit? By the way, it's a large, I think. But pretty cool, one of a kind, custom painted.
Very cool.
Pinstriped. That helmet started out solid black.
Wow.
Ray, I think it's a large. It's a large or a medium. It's a medium. It's a medium.
Which is probably even better because if you're gonna keep it as art, so you don't want some big giant helmet sitting there on your wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to wear it. It's $100 helmet. But yeah, I got people saying they bid on that. So it's a neat helmet. Yes, and the way I look at anything like this, when I buy tickets for Forgotten Angels, that's a donation to help the charity. That's what it is. If I win something, cool. But if I don't, but it's a fun way of donating with an opportunity to possibly win something. So that's kind of what we were doing. We want to make it where if somebody won, they got something for it, but gave everybody a reason to donate and a chance. So, when I get that raffle created, we'll start putting that out on the lives and reminding everybody, and we'll see what we can do. And, we get, if we raise, we think Firecracker, we said the paperwork was going to cost about $500 to do. If we hit $500, we just, whenever we get that amount of money, we give the helmet away. We stop taking entries there and get that paperwork done. And we'll get another donation for something else for seed money.
Yeah. This was your idea to help me do this. So, so it's however you think you should do it.
Well, I don't want to be greedy. We've got $100
Right.
in the helmet, plug uglies, and then paint it for free. But if we do more stuff
right.
like this, I don't want him to paint everything for free. I mean, he's putting time and effort into it. I want to be able to give him something for the paint. But
Right.
we do have some friends that said that, if we had a charity, they would donate some stuff. So really the concern right now is just getting the legal stuff done so we can, pay for the 501c, get it approved, get the tax, exemption and stuff like that. Then that really makes it a lot easier to do these benefits. I mean, we had people that wanted to put stuff on credit card and we just didn't have any way of doing it, and not somebody having to pay taxes on that amount. When you're talking about people spending thousands of dollars on, donations, that's a lot of money for somebody else to pay the taxes on.
And he's tired of me spending all my money on, because I'm a sucker for hitting the Harley dealers and getting discounted stuff to put in it out of my own money, and buying all the supplies that I need and the flyers and stuff like that. So I think
Yep. So yeah, we went to Frontier Harley Davidson while we were in Lincoln, Nebraska last weekend, and they have a really nice shop. They were very hospitable and stuff. We've had other Harley dealers that have offered to, donate, give for things like this. Lake of the Ozark Harley Davidson has given when we did the benefits before and stuff. So these dealerships, I mean, I know sometimes people talk about how they're dealerships and they're, ripping people off, but they also do some good stuff in the community as well. They donate, they help out. Not, they're not everything they're, getting for profit. They're stuffing in their pocket and walking away. So I want to kind of remind people of that these dealerships that we work with and we've done business with have always been, very supporting of the charitable things we do.
Right. I mean, like Ozark Harley, as long as we filled out they have a special paper you got to fill out, which I think a lot of them, the Harleys do, and you turn it in and then they'll let you know, and they've donated a couple baskets for us.
So Jay's in the house. Howdy, y'all.
JS.
It's my boy. Yeah, I got this new Cardo. So he just did a video on how to install a Cardo Edge. So I didn't even film any of my install, not a bit of it. I'm just going to tell everybody, if you want to know how to install one, go watch his video. Yep. We're going to talk about something else because Jay's already covered it. So launch tomorrow. We're going to do a live afterwards. We know we got a new CVO Road Glide and CVO Street Glide, a CVO Road Glide ST, a CVO Pan America. Do you think there will be anything that we have not seen yet? Anything else that, could possibly show up that wouldn't be in that brochure, wouldn't be in that book, that hasn't been leaked? Or do you think we know everything that's coming?
I think there's going to be something you don't know about.
The one thing that pops into my head is Road King with an ST fairing, like that's on the Lowrider ST. I think if they bring out a Road King with that fairing, that'd be badass.
I see the word Bronx in the chat. I knew that wouldn't take long. So, all right. Well, I think have we pretty well covered everything about, I mean, we got to say, we got the launch coming tomorrow. I don't want to burn people out tonight. That's what we know. I think we're going to have all new road glides and street glides with the new dash and the new styling, which I've been saying for a while. I am glad to see they're going to get a 117. The question is going to be, is it going to be enough that without the inverted front forks and the brakes that I'm going to want to trade? I guess I won't know till I ride one. I mean, I'm on a 103 now. We'll go to a 117. These have new Showa adjustable suspension. If they do Showa adjustable suspension, even if it's not inverted front forks or something like that, then maybe. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just have to see.
have you heard? So if I heard this correctly, the ST Road Glide, Street Glide, if it comes out, is going to have a 121 in it, but the CVO is also going to have a 121, but it's going to have a little more kick to it. That's what I've been hearing. That's a rumor. Have you heard that as well?
The only thing I know coming with the 121 is the CVOs.
Okay, so we don't know for sure if just the CVO will have.
We know from these pictures these are 121s. You can tell that.
Right.
You can see the little dent for the variable valve timing on this ST. This one here's got the little indent for the variable valve, and that's a 121. So all the pictures that I've seen for these are 121s with variable valve timing, and these are all CVOs. Somebody earlier, John Price, said that there were pictures of a 117 with variable valve timing, which I said would make sense because the variable valve timing is all in the base. And with these, I think they have the same bore, or they have the same stroke, but a different bore on the top. So you could just change the jugs out. What would also be interesting on the new Road Glide and Street Glide, will it get the water cooling that the CVOs got last year? So the new CVOs have a new water cooling system that filters to the rear head first and then moves forward into the front head. So, and that's in the 121. If they do a 117 variable valve timing, I think it's not, even if it is variable valve timing, I don't think it's going to be water cooling in the heads.
Hey, on that picture, the front fender.
Yeah.
Does it
carbon?
Okay.
It's supposed to be carbon fiber is what I've been hearing. Now, I don't know if that's going to be on every single model or just certain models, but I heard that they had some carbon fiber fenders.
You've got some questions in the thing about curious about the Softail bike photos leaks, wondering if it's brought back 48 or iron.
I'm looking here. Is this back up a little ways?
It's up by Steve Poteet on Facebook.
Oh, curious about the Softail bike photo leaks, wondering if it's brought back 48 or an iron. I don't know. I haven't seen these Softail leaks, but I just did get some information, and this information implies that the Road Glide ST is going to be very similar priced to the CVO Road Glide and Street Glides that we saw last mid-year, around the 43,000 mark. If this pricing is right on the Street Glide and the Road Glide I just got, I might be in because it's under 26,000. So if they brought out an all new Street Glide with the new styling and everything else, no, I wouldn't get the Brembo brakes. I wouldn't get the inverted front forks. But if I got the body styling and the 117 at 26,000, depending on how it looks, I might be in. I might be in. That's only, I think I paid 21,000 out the door for my 16 8 years ago. So that would be a $4,000, $5,000 increase in 8 years, less than $1,000 a year bump. Boy,
surely there's a Harley dealership out there that would love to be able to brag that they made a deal with Riding in the Ozarks on a brand new tour bike.
We'll see about that. But yeah, I mean, if this pricing is right, and there are some dealers out there, Lake of the Ozarks Harley Davidson dealer, as far as I know, is still an MSRP dealer. So they sell their bikes at MSRP, and then you're going to have your taxes and all that stuff, but they're an MSRP dealer. So they're not going to, I mean, if there's a color up charge, of course you're going to pay that, but I mean, the color up charge is probably going to be $1,000 to go from this price is probably for whatever the base color is. Hopefully these new CVOs and Road Glides don't come in primer with clear coat. So
you get me every time when you say that. I don't know why.
Yeah. But burst blue would look awful good in the garage. Burst blue would look awful good in the garage. Oh, we got new phones in.
Mama's got
Her mama's phone has had a broken camera for about a year, and since we're getting into a new season, I thought Mama needed a new phone with the camera that worked. Our contract was about up on the purchase of the phones and stuff, so we did an upgrade so she can have a new camera for the new year.
just in time for Vegas.
Yes. Yes.
Just in
I
time for the launch event and the trip to Vegas, so I can,
can
always have a good camera in my pocket.
I can always now I can catch pictures that I want to take without trying to get Mike's attention, saying, "Hey, I need you to take a picture of this for me."
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing this bike in person will get you to thinking. Yeah,
That bike, oh, that was just up there.
yeah.
I'm gonna say the only thing that would make it look better is if the pipes were black,
I agree.
because everything else is.
I totally agree.
I like the mix of black and chrome.
I like the black out.
No, I don't know.
But
26 grand.
that one looks pretty nice.
Now I'm going to have a hard time sleeping. I'm going to be crunching numbers in my head all night. What's that out over 5 years? How much down? How much can I get out of my bike? This bike here is with a fancy paint job. You got to remember, I mean, if the base is, somewhere around 45,000, if last year, if they were 43 and the new, base is somewhere around 43, 44, maybe 45,000, then you're probably looking at 50,000 for this thing.
Yeah. Well, I figure you're going to go for a basic color anyways, because.
Well, I'm probably not going for a CVO. I don't think I can go 40 grand, but I might be able to go 26 grand. Anybody want to buy a 2016 Street Glide, slightly used with a lot of accessories? Been on YouTube many times.
The fairing doesn't come with it.
No, the fairing doesn't come with it. We put the factory fairing back on. Hey, Zeb, guess what? You just bought yourself a timeout. If you want to come on here and hate on Harley, and run your mouth, I'm going to put you in timeout. If you want to act like an adult and have a conversation, that's fine. But if you just want to come in and, badmouth shit, you're on the wrong chat. So you can move on, or you can set in your timeout for a while. And if you don't like that, then the next time you do it, we'll just ban you and be done. I don't have any problem having a different opinion than me. Guys, you ought to know I don't think everything the motor company does is great. But don't come on here and just saying it's cheap, bad, and made in China, because that's all bullshit. Go back to the garage and hug on your Honda and leave me alone. Because that's where I get more hate from than anything. It's people who don't ride Harleys. Not people that rode Harleys and got turned off by them, but people that are mad because they can't afford them or don't understand why other people will spend the money on them. And, they think their bike is better, and that's fine. Your bike's better. I don't care. Ride what you ride. I'll ride what I ride. I ride with guys that are riding Hondas. I don't care if you got a Suzuki Boulevard, a Yamaha Bolt. I try and stay away from the Vespa guys because they're a bad influence. But, ride what you ride, but let's quit hating on each other for what they ride. Let's quit being gatekeepers and talking about who's posers and who's not real riders. And, I don't like that guy because they're not a real biker. We got enough people against our lifestyle and the things we love who are not riders without us, kicking each other in the fucking balls.
Well said.
Hugs all around. That's right, baby.
You know what we could do, Mike? Tomorrow after the live, we could just have an auction. We'll just auction off your bike.
No.
Only if we have a reserve.
Yeah,
hey,
we'll put a reserve on it.
Hey, he's got a wife now. He's got to sit down and discuss things with where we make big decisions like that. We got other things in the works too.
Yeah, we got some other, maybe, let's put it this way. I'll be hard pressed to buy a new bike before summer because we got some other things we got to figure out probably before then, financing wise. Bigger purchases than a Harley possibly in our future.
Oh. I I think what should happen is when you go out to Vegas to test ride these, they ask, of course, they'll ask your opinion about different bikes. And
I really need 3 more months to evaluate
this
it.
is one I like best. And they're like, well, interesting you mentioned that because that's yours.
Yeah. I wouldn't hold my breath.
No.
Well,
That'd be badass.
I'm thinking somebody needs to call out there to Vegas and say, hey, this girl needs to win really big. So then we can just buy everything that we want.
It'd be a nice
And Jerry,
night.
you're getting him in trouble here.
So,
no, we've already discussed he's gonna get a new bike. He's the one that gets a new bike, but we got other things to work out first.
Yeah. Now that may mean, if they ask me what I think about it, I may say I really need a 3-month review, extended review, and with an option to purchase at the end.
Maybe that drag that out to 3 years.
No, I mean, I don't mind paying for my ride. I don't expect free shit on everything. I that's what I said. People get the wrong impression about YouTubers and some of this, and I'm not looking for a free ride. I'll pay for my ride just like everybody else, but I'm not going to be able to buy anything till summer. So a 3-month test ride with an option to purchase at the end would be nice.
How much are you really going to be riding around here?
True.
Well, I mean, I'm talking like 3 months after Daytona, from like Daytona, maybe a 3-month ride, and then we'd be into June, and by then we'll know where we're at.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Daytona is what, March?
Yeah.
Daytona's March, and come March, I will start riding a lot more. I'll ride a little bit in February, but come March, I'll definitely be able to get out more.
Hey, I plan on riding next Friday. It's supposed to be 59.
Yeah, well, I plan on riding. You talking about like end of this week or next week?
Into next week.
Yeah, well, I'll be riding.
Oh, darn.
I'll be riding next Tuesday, big boy.
I know.
We should have took next Friday off. We had the rest of the week off.
We may have to turn into work that we got back late. We were delayed.
It's supposed to be nice as well.
My work already told me, why don't you just take Friday off too? You're already off the rest of the week.
So, how do you feel about the Harley lease program on touring miles? I don't know that I've ever looked into it. But I mean, to be honest, it might be something I would even consider right now. Cause I mean, ultimately I do want a bagger with the inverted front forks and the Brembo brakes, but so maybe I would lease a bike for a year, and just try it and see how I really like it, and not be too committed.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I got to have the Brembo front brakes and the inverted front forks, but I'm going to bet after next week riding a CVO Road Glide ST with the 121 in the conditions we're going to ride that I'm going to be in love probably.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I can afford it.
I like that they put risers on the CVOs too. That's the look.
Well, the new Road Glides have better bars factory. The new CVO Road Glide last year had better bars with more adjustability, 27 degrees, I think it was, of adjustability in the bars factory. So you can adjust those and make those fit yourself better from the factory. And I expect we'll see that same thing on the new Road Glides. And but the Street Glide's still an issue. I'm not bringing a CVO to the hill climb. Not happening. I might bring a CVO to the Flatheads, but I'm not doing no hill climb on a $50,000 motorcycle.
Oh shit!
I wouldn't even be sleeping on the couch. I'd be sleeping down the road in a ditch with a knot on my head.
Tackle your ass before you could get on it. Talk some sense to you.
So, Wick says, I want to look into leasing. By the way, I think we should probably start talking about, so while we got everybody on the channel, we got Vegas coming up. We'll have some videos and some content based on that. Then, March 2nd, we fly into Daytona. It's going to be our very first time to Daytona Bike Week. And we're going to fly in. It's technically our honeymoon from when we got married in September. We didn't go on a honeymoon, so we saved this up for our honeymoon. And Harley Davidson's going to give us something to ride while we're down there in Daytona. I don't know what it'll be. Don't really care as long as it gets us around. I'm just grateful to have a ride and not have to rent something since we can fly in and save some travel time. And then when we get back from that, what's coming up in April, Firecracker? Got your bike calendar out?
Spring Fling.
Spring Fling. You going to be there, Beggar?
Already got my room reserved.
All right.
And then we got the first weekend in May is International Female Ride Day, and we are going there to Eureka Springs to Switchback Bar, and we're going to ride to the Steel Horse Rally.
I'll try to pimp the shit out of that up here in Kansas City for you.
Cool.
Facebook page and all.
Scott sent me a picture of his new ride. So it looks like he's getting a limited. It's got a 114 in it, and it's got a price tag hanging off the handlebars here. I can't tell if this thing is brand new. Scott, is that primer with clear coat, or is that gunmetal gray? I can't tell the difference.
You're so mean.
I am mean. I just ask most everybody that knows me.
And then, are you going to go the rest of our calendar?
Well, I thought that was your job. You're the travel planner.
Well, then
gunmetal gray says.
May, the weekend of the 10th, we are doing, well, we'll go to the lake that Saturday for the Ozark Ride Rally. And then the big weekend in May is the Mid-America Freedom Rally, which we're on the committee for, which is Memorial Day weekend, which is an old school biker rally.
Hi, Bray.
And
Bray the
biker. We're supposed to go to K River on June 20th through the 23rd, I think. Nothing in July.
Not unless we can get somebody to get us tickets to see Jelly Roll and
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hardy.
And we don't have nothing in August either, right?
Right, unless somebody wants to help us go to Sturgis.
And then in September we got Lake of the Ozarks Bike Fest. The weekend of the September 12th through the 15th. And then the next weekend is BBB BFE in Eureka Springs.
Yeah. So Salty Badger had a question for you there, Firecracker. He says he asked me, but you're going to answer for me.
We are going to Cycle Showcase. I did not mention that. We are getting there on Friday. We'll leave home after work and get there Friday evening.
And we're going to stay till Sunday morning.
Yep.
And
then he's going to take me to Italian before we come home.
Well, so yeah, if anybody likes Italian, we're going to go to the Hill to eat lunch before we leave on Sunday. That's something I try and do it once a year. Now it's become like a Cycle Showcase tradition. Yep. We did it last year, and I think that's going to be the new deal. When we go to St. Louis for Cycle Showcase on Sunday, we'll go get lunch at the Hill before we come home.
Yep.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my own, and I'm going to hit it Friday afternoon for lunch.
Steve says, I love Lake of the Ozarks. Last year was my second year, and I love it. We have a good time there, and it's in our backyard.
Yep.
Right. And last year was messed up for us. We only got to go down for
that's right.
one Thursday night to Friday because my brother had passed away, and then my son got married that Saturday. So we were only able, and we had rehearsal Friday night. So we weren't there like we normally are. But this year, we will be there.
Game on.
Yes.
Game on.
Hey, Mike, is Lake of the Ozarks going to do their spring thing? I haven't heard a word about
Ozark Rides Rally. They are. If you look, keep watching our Facebook page. That. She talked about it. Yeah, it's early May.
Okay.
It's like the week after Female Ride Day, like May 10th, isn't it, Firecracker?
Okay. I'm getting to it. Yes, it's the weekend of the 10th, 11th, 12th.
Do you have SEMO or the Sedalia Bike Show on your calendar?
Me? No, you guys were talking about it, and I never got it on my calendar.
So
I went like last year, I think.
That was the
Yeah.
weekend after Cycle Showcase, isn't it?
it's the weekend before. That's
Oh,
the
this February.
that's the one that takes place at the fairgrounds. It's the weekend before Cycle Showcase. We might run up there to Sedalia, Steve. If you got time, you come down, hang out with us for a little bit. We might maybe we give them a shout out and do a little live there.
We had some friends interested in going to it too. Some other
Steve wants to know. The Steve Potet wants to know, what is the event y'all talking about on your calendar on Memorial Day weekend? The Mid America Freedom Rally. I'm going to tell you, if you're allergic to weed, nudity, or drinking, you will die, because there's going to be an abundance of all of that going on. It's on a private campground. You don't have to leave the campground for anything. We have vendors for food. We have vendors for alcohol. We will have bands. We will have field events. We will have a good time. We will have a bike show. And then on Sunday, you can get up and go to service and, ask for forgiveness for all the things you've done for the last 48 hours.
They actually have a church service there, remember?
Right. Yeah, on Sunday morning, right there. You don't have to leave the grounds. You can just ask for forgiveness right there and then go back to drinking.
But then it goes till Monday. So Monday's when people leave on Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, some people feel like they got to get out of there on Sunday for some reason, but we leave on Monday. It officially runs from noon on Friday till Monday morning.
We've got a Facebook page,
Mid America Freedom Rally, and we are already working on bands. We've got one booked for Friday night. We're working on the rest of our bands and stuff. We've got our sound guy locked in, so things are starting to come together. We've had a lot of support. This thing's been going on for 34 years. We have it on Memorial Day weekend because we honor our fallen. We do a rolling thunder that takes off at midnight, and people will rev bomb for about 60 seconds so that our fallen can hear us. And then on Sunday morning, I think it is, they take a wreath. They have a memorial service with military honors kind of thing, and then they take a wreath over to the local veteran cemetery and put it out in honor of our fallen soldiers. So
Sunday night is the Rolling Thunder.
Sunday night's the Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, because Monday is Memorial Day.
Yeah, so Sunday night at midnight. Sunday night at midnight we do that. Sunday day we do a memorial service, take the wreath over, and then Sunday night we do the Rolling Thunder for those that stay around for Sunday. It is a good time. It's like $25 for the weekend to get in. Primitive camping is included in that. So bring 35. Your tent. 35. Sorry, 35. I just worry about, running the gate and getting people in, nobody, getting hurt and doing anything too crazy. Well, I mean, my biggest rule, I'm chairman, is, if you're not doing anything to hurt yourself, you're not doing anything to hurt anybody else, I don't want to hear about it.
Yep.
It's a freedom rally. Putting the freedom back in the freedom rally. So it's a good time.
But it's $35 for the whole weekend till Monday.
That's 3 nights of
tent camping is free. 3
nights of live bands, and you can bring your own alcohol if you don't want to buy alcohol there. So where can you go spend, $35 and bring your own case of beer and a tent and, have 3 days of debauchery?
But I will bring up that the beer and alcohol that is sold there is sold by the shrine. All that money goes to help kids. So
yeah, and it's reasonably priced. They're not gouging nobody. We have a good time.
If somebody couldn't camp and they need to stay in a hotel,
there's some like
closest.
10 minutes away.
Yeah, maybe 10 minutes. St. Roberts.
Buckhorn. St. Roberts will have the most, but there's one in Buckhorn right there at that exit.
Okay,
there is.
Yeah, on the outer road going back towards St. Roberts on the north side, there's one hotel.
I thought that was like a extended stay place for military people now.
Well,
I could be wrong.
Used to be a hotel, but just get online, Google it. Mike, what was that ride called? Which ride, Mr. Bodine? Jelly Roll is the new face of country music. Jelly Roll is going to be at Sturgis, Shimoto said, but he's also going to be at at Harley Davidson's homecoming. It was Jelly Roll, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Hardy were the names we were looking at. So, By the way, because I know we have a few content creators here in the side chat. If somebody's interested in, Spring Fling, wants to know more about that as a content creator, about coming down there and stuff, maybe hit me up on Instagram and I can get you some details about what all's maybe going on there. They're wanting to expand the number of people that they embrace to come to that event and be a part of it. So holler at me
Hey,
if you
9
think you're
mil.
9 mils on 2 wheels. What is up, Matt?
I still got him a cup.
Yeah, I know. 9. We're talking about like a K River reunion with the River Bluff Flaggers at Adams Campground this year. Are you in? Can you make that one? Yeah, she's talking about a cup. She's talking about a cup kind of like this. Put your logo on it and everything. Look at that. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and on one side it's got the biker's prayer on it.
Oh, theirs does. Yeah, not this one.
Yeah, not yours. You weren't that special.
That was back before she married me. Z Loft in St. Roberts was nice. I think they have a nice hotel. I know the owners of the Z Loft. I used to do some business with them, not YouTube related, so familiar with them.
Matt, the question was, we're thinking about doing a reunion at K River this year. Are you going to be able to make it? It's in June this year.
Salty, I will try and get more information on that. Last I heard was yes, but I don't have a definite. I've got to get to work on I got to get the Dyna off the lift and get the Sportster on the lift. But I've had a lot going on with my daughter going off to college at mid-semester here or mid-year and stuff. And so the Dyna's, I think the last of the parts I need to be able to put the shocks and stuff on it and to get the tire on it and get it off the lift. And then, I can get it off the lift and get the Sportster on there and start working on it. My same spot is reserved, he says. So what you'll have to let us know what your spot is. We didn't go last year, so we don't have a spot reserved, or where we went last year. We don't know who was staying where. So 9 mils, if you got a spot reserved, the number, let me know where. We may call and see if we can get close to you. And, that way you can hear me snore all night. And I don't have to worry about you being able to sleep.
Number 8.
Write it down.
I don't need to write it down.
Oh, you got it memorized already, do you?
I'm going to put it in my phone.
Okay.
No, I better not because I'm switching phones.
Yeah, see how that worked out? Man, oh man, 26 grand. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, honey. I'm so excited.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
If I can pick one out for under 30 grand.
I'm going to look up K River.
Or right 7. Now. Let me check. Now you got him questioning it.
Well, it's all right. We'll find something close. Anyways,
I'm checking to make sure Harley Davidson hasn't updated anything on the website yet.
They posted something, but it wasn't. I think it was a couple CVOs zipping down a street in a metro city. It was just a teaser.
Yeah, Grand American. They're just talking about the launch in this press release here from a couple weeks ago. Nothing new yet. Now, I don't know, Steve. We might. I don't know if we want to. We'll see what we got in the morning. You just stay loose, and I'll holler at you. If they get a bunch of stuff on the website early, we might have something to talk about before the launch, and then after. We may just do some impromptu live. So y'all stay tight. Be watching for us. 9 mils says it's 8. I last checked, Suburban American was sold out aside from 10 spots. Well, 10 spots are what we're talking about. We ain't rich. We ain't got an RV, so tents are it.
Yeah. They go they got tent spot 15, and then it goes tent spot 24, 25, 26, and on. So up to 284.
So Chase, if you can tent it, I'm sure you can. We can. We've done it before. Holler at us, and maybe we can try and see if we can get something booked close together at the same time. And we can always go over and sit in Matt's camp and drink his alcohol. Oh wait, he, I mean, we'll go visit. So I've been waiting already approved with the wife. 26K. I'll keep my bike and buy the new one. My wife might not mind if I did that. She would like me to keep my bike because then she would have a street glide. She could, learn to ride.
Mm-hmm.
Matt has electricity. Mine's going to have electricity whether they provide or not. That's what that little power generator thing's for. All righty. Well, let's see if we got much else here to talk about. I got some comments here. So, yeah, I mean, 26K, baby. That's, I mean, with paint and taxes and everything else, we're probably looking at 30 grand. But, and to be honest, for me, I might be okay with it not having the fancy suspension because I have had a few companies, ask me about trying their suspension or things like that. And if I don't have premium suspension on the bike already, I wouldn't probably mind trying other suspensions then. But if I had factory, inverted front forks and everything else, I might not want to change them,
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
I think Olin should call you and say, hey, Mike, don't worry about that in front inverted fork system. We got one on its way to you in the mail. Be awfully nice of them. Be a smart move on their part.
Well, my man at Schmidt says there's a guy here in Missouri who's building racing suspension, and he's already talked to them, and they, whether we do it on the Dyna or we do it on something else, they might be interested in putting me showing off some of their products, and they're a made in Missouri company, which I think would be very cool. I'd like to support and promote products made in Missouri as long as they're quality.
You bet.
Ray says, okay, guys, great show. I'll jump in tomorrow if you go live. See you, Ray. Take care. I'll have to window shop the new bikes. I can barely afford the 48. I've been there. I mean, it's my kids are grown now. I got a promotion, things like that make a difference. I'm in my 50s, and that's a lot of things that people talk about. They need to make bikes that are affordable for younger people. But the fact is, they make bikes that a lot of people can afford when they get older and their kids are grown and things like that. And I don't know that the business model is the right model for them to make more affordable bikes, or just cater to a smaller audience that can afford the bikes they make. Boo. Firecracker left me. Steve's looking down at his phone.
I've got
boo, and nobody moved.
I've got someone from my past that's blowing up my phone. I thought
do you need to go?
No, I'm good.
Do you got a booty call? Do you got a booty call, Steve?
No,
Come on now.
I severed legal ties to this person.
Oh,
we share 2 kids, and she's trying to tell me about plans in the future.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
We'll let that one slide. It's got to do with kids. Kids are important.
Yeah.
I had all weekend, I had people sending me stuff about these leaks and these brochures and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do anything with any of this. I've got 800 miles to cover in the next 36 hours and get a kid moved into an apartment. So, this weekend just had to go on hold.
Yep.
Kind of like you don't see many young folks driving Corvettes. It's exactly right. I mean, and the reality is there are plenty of great used Harley Davidsons that are affordable out there. I mean, Firecracker's first bike, $4,500, 2000 Dyna. Probably need taller suspension, but outside of that, there was nothing wrong with it. But it was a good bike for her to learn on, and it wasn't the end of the world if she dropped it. It wasn't a $25,000 or $30,000 new motorcycle. So there are plenty of good. That's one thing about Harley Davidson being the best-selling brand in the United States. That means there's an abundance of them on the used market at affordable prices for people if they're willing to, buy a 10-year-old bike with low miles, and you can find them.
Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way. I remember in 2017, a friend of mine wanted me to go to Sturgis with them, and I was totally overwhelmed. I was like, all I'd heard was how expensive everything, like $20 for a beer and all this stuff. And I said, man, I don't think I can do it. And then he finally sat me down and kind of gave me a budget. And then I started thinking about, well, how can I afford that budget? And the next thing you know, it is affordable. I've been 5 out of the last 7 years. So if you want to go get a bike that you want to get, sit down, put some paper to it, figure out a plan, get a second job, whatever the fuck you got to do.
You know, my daughter has got her first apartment, junior in college. She had to pay electric. She's got to pay for internet. You know, she's like, I don't know how the hell you do it, Dad. She said, I'm exhausted, with, working part-time and going to school, and I haven't even started yet. And you're just getting all this stuff figured out. And she's like, and you do this every day with a job, a part-time business, and a YouTube channel, and raising kids. And, it's tough, but if you want it bad enough, you'll sacrifice time here or there. You'll work at something, whether it's a part-time job or a side hustle or whatever else, to make the money.
A lot of places in the world, you don't even get that opportunity.
And sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. This YouTube channel didn't happen overnight. I didn't blow up in a year. This is 4 years of hard work right here to get where we're at, and have 65 people still with us at an hour and a half in. And I appreciate every one of you guys, but if you really want it bad enough, you'll figure out how to get it, not just, bitch about it.
Yep.
My son's first bike will be in St. Louis. Is it going to be in the show, Salty? Is it actually going to be in Cycle Showcase's show, or is this just going to be up there?
And if it is, that's freaking badass, because those bikes are cool.
Well, and here's a comment. Seems like the Pan Ams are going pretty cheap if you sort by price on Cycle Trader. That may be the price. Pan Am actually came down in price this year from last year. They took it. Oh, looky there. Yes. So Salty, I'm guessing you're going to be there. Are you going to be there, Salty, to support your son's bike in the bike show?
He asked earlier. They asked earlier if we were going to be there.
I'm going to guess his answer is going to yes, he's going to be there. So we will be there Friday night. I don't know if he's put out yep, he's going to be there. Sweet. So I think they have a Meet the Builders, but I don't know if they've it's going to be at that place on Del Mar.
Yeah.
Next to the pageant. That's going to be the Meet the Builders. Yeah. So we will be there Friday night for that. He's not on the show right now, but last I heard, the Monkey and the Mrs. Monkey are going to be there as well. They're coming in early too and stuff. So it's going to be a good time.
Looking forward to that. We had a blast last year, didn't we?
Firecrackers going. So I'm going to security.
It's always a good time when Firecrackers there.
Firecrackers going, and I'm going to security. I'm just going to wear a T-shirt that says security and walk around by her.
Can I have one more drink? You sure can.
Security says yes. Show me your tits.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, that's the biker in me coming out. Well, that's really cool, Salty, man. You'll have to make sure you find me, introduce yourself, introduce your son. We'd love to see his bike. I'm sure it's going to be something. I know you were working on building something for the hill climb. I sure hope it happens. I don't know that I'll have anything fancy for the hill climb, but hopefully I'll have a running Sportster that I won't give a shit about if I drop it in the gravel, and I won't be afraid to give it all she's got.
It's pretty.
Matt says, I'll give you my badge. You just can't show it.
Is Schmidt Law Firm going to be there representing?
Oh yeah. They're involved again. They're help sponsoring Cycle Showcase. They're help getting some of the bikes there. There's some bikes that I think were showed at Surges that had to be, delivered, and they're helping out with that. I saw a post about that, but Schmidt Law Firm. And that's why you guys see their name in the corner of the stream here. They don't give me money. They don't pay me. They're not sponsoring me. They support me in the way that they help me get to events or get into events or things like this. They got me on the list last year, which is like a $10 entry fee. It's not a big deal, but they got me on the list last year to get in and talk about the event, introduce me to Randall. But, they know I want to support the events that are in Missouri, and I want to support them because they help support these events in Missouri. So, it's a big deal. So Salty says it's on pause doing the final details on my sons. Well, of course. I mean, the hill climb thing, I hope it happens. If it doesn't happen at Cycle Showcase, don't give up, because I'm looking at, I've talked to some people and it may take us a year or two to figure it out. We may have to build a track, but we're talking about building a dirt drag track here locally and maybe trying to get an annual event going for dirt drags in our area. And I think the hill climb is cool, but I think the dirt drags will get more people involved on just a regular bike and not feeling like they got to build something. I think the hill climb is not something everybody can do. I think the dirt drags is more something everybody can do. They just may not be able to win, but they can do it.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It might be quite honestly one of the craziest things I've done in the last few years. Reminding me of my youth when I made bad decisions, riding a 900-pound bagger as hard as I can go down a rough ass gravel drag strip. But it was fun. That's for sure. And I want everybody to know my wife did not tell me to put on a helmet. She didn't tell me to be safe. What she told me was don't fuck up that fairing.
Priorities. It's all about priorities.
That's going to be my wall art.
I think the fairing's probably coming off before spring to get painted. We got another name to go on it, and then it's probably just going to get hung. So, because if it's not this year, it's next year that the bike's going to get sold or traded, so I can get me a new one.
Yeah.
Boy, they had some custom painted CVOs from 2023 at Frontier where we were at in Nebraska. $53,000 out the door for a custom painted 2023 CVO. And there was a nice looking Street Glide, had a little purple striping in it. Firecracker was, looking at me with a little tear in her eye because it's not her turn to buy a bike.
Yeah, the guy that painted my bike, Gigi, paints the custom bikes for our local Harley dealership, and I love going in there and seeing what he's done. Some beautiful paint jobs.
Have you been to Gale Palooza?
Yes.
Is that going to be? Do you know when that's going to be this year?
Oh God, I should know that. It's a military deal, so it's tied to a military. It might be the same time as your Freedom Ride.
Well, last year it was in the summer. It was later, but there was somebody mentioned to me that maybe my name would be on the invite list. So I don't know.
I actually put Gigi in the bike show there last year.
Yeah, all I know is my name came up in a conversation about it, and I might be asked to be there. So I don't know. I haven't heard any more about it. I told them get me a date, and I'd try and keep it open on the calendar if that was something they wanted to happen. All right, we're an hour and 37 minutes. We still got 67 crazy people in the side chat here tonight. Before we sign out here tonight, I want everybody to get in there, leave a comment, who you are, where you're from, because I know I ain't got 67 people in there commenting right now. We got Salty and 9 Mills chatting, and Evil Rick and Jonesy's on there, and Mike Bodine, but I know there's a lot more people in there than that. So throw me a shout out in the side chat, and we'll tie this thing up, and we'll come back tomorrow after the launch and talk about what we actually end up getting, what we really got, what the pricing looks like, how maybe it compares. If you guys don't know, I've got a spreadsheet with the pricing for the last 4 years. So I'm going to be able to compare the pricing this year to last year. We can plug those into a spreadsheet, see how it is really stacking up with the absorption of the surcharge, how much it really changed. But because my pricing is MSRP without the surcharge, because I knew eventually that was going to probably drop back in, and it would be hard to keep track of it with and without. And this way we'll just go back to MSRP without the surcharge, and we'll see once they absorbed it how much the total change is. Freedom Rally again is Memorial Day weekend, Mr. Mike Bodine, and we have campsites already reserved. So all you got to do is bring your tent. There'll be plenty of room. We'll be in the same spot as last year. We'll gates open at noon on Friday. Mike Bodine is in our area here. He's a good friend of ours. He's a good man. He went and did the Cassidy bike run with us. He came to the Freedom Rally last year. He had so much fun, he had to go home and go to church on Sunday and then come back. All right, Southern Ohio, Central Texas, Sapulpa, Oklahoma. I'm sure I butchered the shit out of that. North Central Illinois, Southeast Missouri. James, 9mm James has been lurking in there and not talking to us. Cornbread and Pebbles are out for now. We'll see y'all tomorrow for the Riding in the Ozarks after launch event. We're in South Central Texas. Salty is in Southwest Michigan. South of Waterloo, Illinois is Evil Rick. So, South Central Texas there, Cornbread. My dad's currently in Bay City outside of Galveston's, where he's just retired from. They'll be looking to sell their house this spring and move back. Apparently they're not in a hurry to move back in the middle of single digit temperatures.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and you said it right. Amazing. I got something right. Vancouver, Canada, Schmodo Travel says. So thank you everybody for coming out tonight.
Canada.
What was that again, Steve?
I was singing their national anthem.
Come on, let's hear it.
Very, very, very poorly. I might have.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
All right, stick to selling insurance. That's enough. Deep South Illinois, XAN Biker. We will have the Galveston Mardi Gras event. We'll be at the Galveston Mardi Gras event. Hope to meet your dad there if he goes. We'll just have to see if he goes. I don't know. They're getting ready to come home here for a few weeks right now and stuff. But yeah, they've got to start figuring out their transition to get moved back here come spring and sell their house down there. Eastern Oklahoma for Brandon Von Walder. So. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody coming out tonight, hanging out with us. We had a good time. We'll do it again tomorrow. Interesting stuff. This has been a strange launch. I mean, I kind of feel like the only thing that we're going to learn tomorrow is a few spec details and pricing. But we kind of know. I mean, maybe there will be a surprise model, and I hope so. But at this point, I'm not sure there's going to be any more models released after this brochure went out showing the lineup, and there wasn't anything new in it there. I kind of feel like we are what we are. What we got. And I'll be honest. I mean, if they got a Street Glide 117 with all new styling at 26, maybe 27.5 with paint, I'm feeling an itch. I might have to scratch this year. Hey, we'll learn if Mike's buying a bike. So.
What if it's your favorite color of gray? You still buy it?
I'm not buying fucking primer. If I buy primer, it's getting painted. That's all I can tell you.
Looks like you know a couple of good painters from that helmet.
I mean, shit, all I got to do is take a little scuff pad to it and it's ready to go. It's already primered.
What about my bike?
What?
He said, looks like you know some good painters from that helmet. I said, what about my bike?
Your bike's beautiful.
Travis shot the purple. Travis and Cody did pinstriping on her bike, and Cody did this helmet that we're going to do the raffle on, and Travis put clear coat on it. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I've got some videos, some reels I put out of this, but we might, after we get past the launch, we might try and get the gentleman that helped paint this stuff on the show and talk about them and their experiences and give them a shout out. Maybe people would find that cool to talk to some guys that actually do some painting and some custom work.
Hey, speaking of artwork, Cycle Showcase, Randall that puts it on, he has artwork.
Oh yeah, there'll be art at that. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he's got some cool shit lined up.
9 Mills doesn't want to watch you scratch wherever you have an itch. Yeah, well. The other day I had boob sweat, man. I'm telling you what, packing up there in 0-degree temperatures, and I was sweating in the coat trying to pack all that stuff into my daughter's apartment.
And they don't clean the streets off there.
Oh yeah, I mean the side streets, like where she lives, they didn't blade it at all. It's just packed. 6-8 inches of snow just packed down. People driving on top of it. I'm trying to drive around with a trailer on the back, with full loaded down. We went and bought a couch. We had to take the legs off the couch and door off the hinges to get into the apartment. and it's me and my 73-year-old uncle and my wife and my 19-year-old daughter trying to get that damn couch in that apartment.
And I can tell
Thank
you right.
God she lives on the first floor.
Praise Jesus.
Well, I can tell you right now, she was talking about coming to visit her and stuff, and I told him flat out, I said, ain't coming back until it's warmer because I ain't going back there cold.
I just got to put somebody else in timeout too. Yoshi T wanted to come in and talk about, overbloated, junk or something will be revealed tomorrow. So we put him in timeout too. I hope he can still hear it and see all this while he can't comment. Because, if you're going to talk trash, I'm going to put you in the trash can. If you want to come in and debate like an adult, that's fine. But if you want to just come in and, talk trash, we'll put you away. So let's see here. The matte colors are a PIA to keep clean. My wife has a matte white Street Glide, shows you everything. Phantom Rider says, LOL, my 23 Street Road Glide Special is about 3 months ago after selling my 21 Indian Challenger. If I'd known the new Harleys were coming out, I would have changed. I would have hanged on a bit. Well, yeah, I've got a moderator, XAM, but he's not in the chat tonight, so I'm having to do it myself. But maybe if you want to be a moderator, hit me up in the Instagram. I'll make you a moderator, and you can ban people for me. And I don't mind banning. I don't mind people having a different opinion. But if they want to just come in and talk trash, and hate on shit, without any explanation, and they've got their mind made up, I'll do the same thing I do on here as I do on my videos. Remove their comment, block them, be done with it. I got no problem with free speech if you want to have a conversation. But, just because some gal that you used to date rode off on the back of some other dude's Harley, don't come in here spitting shit.
Preach.
Well, I mean, I get tired of these, there was a guy the other day that said the Pan America was 900 pounds and comment on my video. I'm like, bro, it's 543 pounds. And the fact that you said it's 900 pounds just shows me that you have no idea what you're talking about. And that I should delete your comment because you have, you're just, spitting shit out your mouth to spit shit.
Maybe he meant with this fat ass sitting on top of it.
Maybe. And like I said, I mean, if somebody wants to have a real debate, I'm not saying that Harley's the best at anything or everything even, but, all this, if you want to just come in and be negative and say things that are just, absolutely ludicrous, then I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah. You've heard me say this to you a bunch of times. The biggest thing that I've learned doing this with you is how important it is to try to be right.
Yeah. I mean, if you make a post on my video and you say the Pan America weighs 800 pounds or 900 pounds, you're 350 pounds off. I'm not going to have any respect for anything else you say because you didn't even make an attempt. I've had people say things about how the Gold Wing was this or the Gold Wing was that, and they weren't right, and I don't know where they're getting their information from, but if they can't take 5 minutes to be sure they're right before they want to, get into a debate with someone else on specs and stats, then, if they're right, I'll look it up. And if I can learn something, absolutely great. I'm happy to learn something. I would never argue that for some people, the Gold Wing is a better option. It's not necessarily a cheaper option, but they may feel it's a better value. If that's if they like the style, I mean, I don't think the Gold Wing is a bad machine. It's just not a machine that it doesn't talk to me. It doesn't incite me to want to go ride. It doesn't attract me emotionally. It doesn't appeal to me, but that doesn't mean it's a bad ride. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean I wouldn't have a fun time riding it. I love all motorcycles, but it's just not what I'm going to own and put in my garage. Yeah. I got a buddy that he's trying like hell. He's a Honda guy and he's trying like hell to find a Street Glide for a decent price. And he's willing to spend a little money. He's not going to spend anything crazy, but I mean, 3 years ago, he'd have told you he'd never buy a Harley because they were overpriced. And now he's looking at buying a Street Glide. He's come around. He's looked at the Hondas and he's realized that, the Gold Wing might be a better value, but it's not cheaper. And, which one do you really like the looks better of, and which one do you know? And he's kind of like digging on the Street Glide finally. So
Yeah.
and I'm not giving him a hard time about it. I mean, if he doesn't buy one, he doesn't buy one. If he does, he does. That's cool. But there's a time and a place, and just because it's not the bike for you now doesn't mean it won't be the bike for you in the future. But there's no reason to hate on it. Again, that's just gatekeeping shit. It hurts our industry and hurts our culture. And if you're a Harley guy and you're getting on Honda videos and you're cranking on them, go find something else to do with your time so you can afford more motorcycle parts, something that makes you money besides hating on other people's shit. Sorry, I'm getting on my soapbox tonight, but these haters are getting me fired up.
Working up a lather.
All right. I guess we better get off here. I think Firecracker's wanting to set her phone up already. Steve, thank you for joining us. Everybody in the chat, we love you. Thank you. Even you trolls, we love you for coming out and watching it. We're just not going to tolerate your comments. So y'all be safe. Keep on riding. We'll try and do a show tomorrow. I think it's going to be interesting to see the few things that we haven't seen, that we don't know yet, such as the pricing, if we're going to get a 117 if we get a 117 with variable valve timing for 26 grand, I'm getting itchy. I can feel it already. I'm not sure I can sleep tonight, honey.
I'm tired of hearing you say that. You're going to sleep just fine because I'm going to hit you in the head.
I'll just make another one of these. Me and Azariah Brooks, 99 Proof, we'll have another little chat. I'll crunch some numbers and I'll go to bed dreaming about a new Street Glide.
He can feel it all the way down into his plums. The light bluish hue to them.
Can you feel it in my plums, honey?
Fresh and juicy, ready for the picking.
Can you feel my plums and see if there's anything going on there?
No, not doing it.
All right. We'll see y'all later. Y'all stay safe. Keep on riding. We appreciate everybody's support. We'll hopefully see some of you guys tomorrow. Y'all stay safe.
Peace.